Happy days. Yeah, welcome to your Growing Rugby League podcast. Just sharing different stories of others out there growing rugby league, different connections that are supporting myself, providing a bit of exposure and getting everyone's stories out there. Today we've got Sav Ratu on. So Sav's owns Grip X Performance Socks. So Grip X Performance Socks, they're a new affiliate sponsor of ours. So you'll see our new staff polos out and about. You'll see the logo on the sleeves where they're under production at the moment, and then you'll see a few of the boys out and about wearing the socks as well. So it is how the brand is, GripX Performance Socks. Help your performance out in the field and at training. So how are you today, mate?
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. Long time supporter, but first time caller, as they say on radio. But yeah, been awesome just to get on board. And I think the first time I saw your brand was at the Sydney airport, and I saw some of the Filipino national team, and so I had a quick look, and that's how I came across you and found you on social media and then on LinkedIn as well. So I've been following your posts, and but yeah, no, it's been great to connect, and hopefully one day I'll come up to Brisbane and we'll have a coffee and chat.
The brand is literally everywhere. Just at footy training 2 nights ago. There was a new coach that was there, and he was wearing Srama shorts that I've never met before, and I get some players whether they're overseas, they'll take a picture of someone or something regarding the brand. So, and I appreciate it, and appreciate all the support. And so you're a Cripex Performance Socks. They're the new affiliate sponsor for this year. So, you just want to share your story. Obviously, still fairly new to yourself and your story and background. So, what's your background individually? Where'd you grow up? Where you're from, and your experience within rugby itself.
Yeah, so I'm from Sydney originally. I've been fortunate to be in and around the game. I'm actually a PE teacher and play a bit of rugby league, rugby union. And so, with the GripX Performance Socks, it kind of goes hand in hand with coaching and a little bit of PT as well. And so it's kind of like an amalgamation of all my passions and interests coming together, especially, in high school with a lot of the boys and a lot of the girls, coaching them. Started teaching down in southwest Sydney, and that was really where my rugby league career, like in terms of coaching, took off. And I was playing a bit of rugby league down in Sydney as well for Liverpool All Saints, and then also then making the move to Guildford Owls for a couple of years. And then my wife and I decided to go traveling and work overseas, so we made the move to London. And then playing rugby league as well for London Chargers. Shout out to them, Craig and the boys out there. Playing down in southwest London. And so it's actually quite interesting because in London they play their summer is from April to September, which is when they play rugby league, and then from September to April, that's when rugby union is when they play rugby union. So I've been quite fortunate through the whole pandemic and over the years when I went to London, play rugby league, play rugby sevens, from April to September in their summer. And then from in their winter period, from September to April, I would play, rugby union. So it's quite, it's quite interesting to play, almost you could play all year round. I think so. Yeah, it's just even with the brand started about a year ago, in the sheds, playing for Wimbledon, in the Nat 3 over in London, and just noticed there was a bit of a gap in the market, and did some research on some of the boys and trialing, and even some of the cousins they play pro as well over in Europe. So it was good just to bounce some ideas around the local league and the amateurs, but also even some of my students as well. And then a couple of months later, then came out with some samples, and just trialing a few products, and then launched in February 2022. But then of course that was probably the peak, or that's when the pandemic was happening. So of course trying to launch in February 2022, and my factory in China actually shut down because of their workers, and so that probably put a bit of a dampener in things. But eventually, just I guess with the links to playing rugby league, rugby union, Started off really small, with my mates supporting me and family and friends, and then, reaching out and, meeting other rugby players as well, and, trying other sports like around net, in Europe is quite big. It just started growing, and then, making the move, back to Australia, just trying to really grow the brand, and, obviously, still full time, teaching and working and coaching, at the moment just moved back to the area, so in near Port Macquarie, and so just kind of found a local team to play, the Port Macquarie Sharks. Shout out to the lads Matt and the boys. So it's just really just a bit of a journey, trying to find, from teaching and also, coaching the young kids, and then, I was just falling upon this product and then growing it to what it is now. And, it's good to see some, Nemanja and Dolo wearing them, and a few boys from, the national Fiji Sevens team wearing them, and then, Gail Broughton from the Bulldogs and the NRLW, and even soccer and some other sports getting on board. So it's just been a bit of progression, slow progress, but, progress nonetheless, and it's been exciting to see where it can take me. And I think the biggest thing was just through the connections I made overseas, and the boys I played with, and networking with them, and they helped me build the brand as well, and they promote the Sox, and so it's been pretty cool to see it grow and see where it can go, and just happy to come on board, and being a passive onlooker, but now being active role in pushing Sharma Rugby League recruitment. And I know a few of the boys overseas, they came on LinkedIn and tagged yourself and follow you, and so it's just a no-brainer just to jump on.
Stories, and that, to myself, obviously, I've been going around for a lot longer, but same thing, it started through different connections, and different players, teammates, clubs, and they help promote the brand, and then I've got different little side projects like with the rebounder balls, and that's only still fairly new, and exact same principle as well. Just different connections help promote it, players use it. So you're definitely keen to help, grow your brand within, rugby league world, and I communicate this, daily with everyone, but treat others how you want to be treated, and I appreciate all the support, and appreciate you following my progress and the brand's progress. So definitely keen to see your brand grow as well with ours. So I'll promote it all the time as well. It's the family. So definitely keen to see you progress, and still early days, but it's just already growing out there with with the Bulldogs and other athletes using it as well. So definitely keen. Yes, London Chargers. Mate of mine. He's a new coach there as well. So literally, that's why I started the podcast as well. Pretty much catch up with someone weekly for a catch up coffee, or anything, and a chat can turn into for ages, and there's always, if there's someone new, there's always someone there that relates back to rugby league, or a connection or something there. But the London Chargers, they were an affiliate member club a couple of years ago, but I've got a mate there, that he's a new coach. He's an Aussie as well. I'm trying to think of his name.
It's quite funny why you think of his name, because I went to in 2010. I actually was studying down in Newcastle, and so I went. One of my cousins took me to Newcastle the rugby league, rugby union team. So I started playing rugby union, and then played Colts for Newcastle University. And then when I moved to London in 2019, then I met one of my friends that I used to play rugby with, and he was telling me, "Oh, you have found a team?" And I was like, "No, I haven't found a team yet. Like, I probably just travel and just probably just relax. A bit of too much commitment." And then he was telling me about London Chargers, and so there was a couple of teams. I know there's an Aussie team out there as well. I don't want to say the name, but yeah, there was another team, and my cousin went to play for them, and he said, "Oh, come, there's a whole bunch of Australians," and I was like, "Oh no, I'd rather go play with like Matt Rabbit." Hey, so I ended up playing with London Chargers, and then met like some other Aussie boys as well, and even Todd Pute, he was playing for Gundawindi, Boars, and so now he plays for London Scholars, and so made a few good connections, and it was quite interesting to see that I was playing with Matt Rabbit 10 years ago, when we were in Colts, and then we were playing again, in London. So that was a bit of a whirlwind. But I wouldn't have gone to the Chargers unless it was for Rabbit. So yeah, 100%. People that you meet, and then later on, and both him and I are teachers and coaching rugby league. So it was really great to see after so long time after we've been playing, then we're still kind of coaching, giving back to the kids, but also having it go at the community level.
Over in London and that as well. Yep.
Well, PE, business background, but predominantly just PE and rugby coaching. So I was fortunate to be over there at Gunnersbury Catholic School in South West London, and then made my way down to John Fisher. And so they really looked after me down there, and just really enjoyed my time. A different kettle of fish, but it's quite competitive with rugby union. Rugby league isn't so strong down south. Rugby league, sorry, isn't strong in London. So they've only got one or two teams, and majority of it was played up north, but still it's quite a fierce competition in school age rugby. Yeah.
Do much traveling while you're over there, or see much of the north of the country?
So, I mean, it was quite good because holidays on the weekends, and it's quite competitive with the airlines as well. So we were able to fly to Stansted, in Essex, or even just go down in Heathrow and just go away for weekends. The big 6 week their summer breaks in the middle of the year, and so we were able to go away for that 6 week block in their summer. Whereas our summers from November to January, and that's when the 6 week block is. But there's the middle of the year, so it's good to go, over and see Greece and pop over in Island Hop and Albania, and go to Spain and Norway. But yeah, I think even Turkey was a bit of a surprise package. That's quite nice over there. And so yeah, it was pretty fortunate to be able to go and go to Italy and to the coast, and be able to explore and do a bit of especially around the when there was the pandemic. That was pretty good. To April 2021, I think, is when they lifted all the restrictions, and so you were able to go traveling as long as you had the evidence and certificate. That was fine. So yeah, no, it's interesting. It's good.
Example, like my phone doesn't stop daily of it, and that's what I was telling you. I've got different pages, I've got different emails, I've got different websites, but I'll get contacted daily. Sometimes, sorry to some others out there, I haven't replied back to you yet, but I get someone at least, asks daily regarding to play in England. I'm not quite sure what the restrictions are with rugby union, but to play semi-professional, professional in rugby league, there's only three pro, semi-pro comps. So obviously the Super League, Championship, and League One. And a lot of players, they want to play in England. I ask, have you got UK ancestry, or just go through the whole spiel. And where they don't have, they don't have UK passport, don't have UK ancestry, they haven't played NRL, they haven't played top tier international, so you're not eligible. They brought that in, probably over 10 years now, just to help progress England rugby league, because especially like say London Scholars. So back in the day, they'd have, well, even like London Broncos, that have so many Aussies there. So whichever team had the most Aussies, would win the comp, and so they stopped. They brought those restrictions in to try and lessen the amount of Aussies, to help progress the game. Um, so there's a lot of players, once they hear they can't play semi-professional, professional, they sort of quit. But there's been so many players that you just got to learn. If you want to play overseas, always say England's your best opportunity, and especially London being sort of the culture wise is very similar to Australia, very busy and that. But if you're an Aussie that don't meet restrictions, you can head over on a work and holiday visa, and then you work, play, have a great time, travel. And when I was there, it was cheaper to catch a bus from Coventry, where I was, from Coventry down to London. I mean, it was cheaper to fly to Spain than it was to catch a bus from Coventry down to London. So,
It's crazy because when we first moved over, we moved to Essex in Chelmsford, and it would cost us about £60 one way, where we could pay £20 and go to Spain or Norway on Ryanair, and you just take carry on luggage. But yeah, I think when I was playing in London Chargers, I was trying to play for London Scholars, but I was on the wrong visa, so I went over on a youth mobility visa, and so obviously I was employed as a teacher, and I couldn't get I mean, like, they were trying to get me on the sportsman visa, but I couldn't obviously enter in a like semi-pro contract under the visa that I was on. So at that time, work was fortunate enough they sponsored me. So for me to obviously, I was just like, well, can you just do it under the table, put me under someone else in there? But I said no, unfortunately they couldn't. So I mean, I was happy with that because they were playing, up in north, like, so I was down, southwest in London. So, but yeah, that was okay, and I ended up, playing a bit of sevens and playing rugby union. So, and that was fine. Hey, but yeah, there is a few restrictions and visas in there as well.
Look, I'll post it up even again yesterday in my story. But if any players want to play in England, you get in touch. If you don't meet if you do meet restrictions, there's always clubs chasing overseas imports, and then also if you don't meet restrictions, it's that easy to get that youth mobility visa, and live the best life. So there's that many people out there that are probably obviously probably jealous of yourself that you got to play overseas, even with myself and that. But all it takes is to jump out of your comfort zone and do it, because that's all pretty much is, because there's so many rugby league clubs out there chasing players, and then same again for the UK boys. So a few of your ex teammates over there, at the Chargers and elsewhere, if they want to come play in Australia, there's absolutely so many clubs and competitions all over Australia chasing players. They just don't have many available out there. So if anyone's keen, get it in touch.
Yeah, it's probably definitely about who and networking, connecting, because I think the London Chargers just signed a bit of a partnership with the Tata Rugby League, just to have a bit of so that was it's quite cool. But even one of my cousins, Sidney More than Dreckie, he came over and played for the London Broncos for a bit, and then him and met Paul Alberg and Brock Pellegra, and he's playing in
At Toulouse, yeah.
plenty of opportunities out there, definitely.
In league and union.
I play in the centres. When I was at Guildford, I was playing centres and wing. Probably because my AFL background, I can probably catch the ball overhead, or probably just probably more endurance. But yeah, and then in sevens, probably play hooker or centre, and then same inside outside for union. So yeah, fortunate to be able to switch backwards and forwards. Sometimes I do make the mistake of if I'm playing rugby league, I go to play long place the ball. Oh, sorry, I have to pick it up and roll. Yeah, sorry, go. Yeah, this is the game we're playing. Yeah. I was there from 2017 to 2019, so just a couple of years under Toddy McEwen and Paul Fletcher. And that was a pretty exciting year because that was when Natana Masima, he was playing as well, and he plays. He just recently in the World Cup, he was playing six half, and then there's a few other heavy hitters down there as well. That was quite exciting to play with them and learn off them and see their work rate and effort.
Yeah, there's been a lot of players over the years that come through their pathways. Guildford, through to Parramatta. When I was playing down there at Cabra, Guildford's team was sort of like so if you weren't making under 20s for Parramatta, you'd be playing for Guildford in Ron Massey. So they're a strong club and a strong area in that as well. Sweet. So look, you've got Instagram, Facebook page.
So I'm just on Instagram, Group X Performance Ops. I'm on TikTok, but not dances or anything. But yeah, definitely on Facebook, but predominantly just on the website, www.groupxperformanceops.com. That's where you find us. Yeah.
In the comment section and information regarding today's chat. So if anyone is keen, to check out the website and purchase, support yourself and growing rugby league and the brand as well. Because with all these different, as a small business, micro business, well, that's what I call myself, micro business. people like I get contacted daily, regarding sponsorship and other things. People think, I'm a millionaire, but it is a daily grind. And, even though you're a small business and you helped out with a little bit of sponsorship, so much appreciated of that. So any help for Sav and GripX Performance Socks, check out the website and put a couple orders in. So can you tell us a little bit about the socks itself and what they actually do? There's still you see a lot of players out there in NRL wearing them, but a lot of people also don't understand what they actually do. So if you could just give an explanation.
It's quite an interesting niche market. I've never really, I mean, it's only been the last 2 years that I've really gotten bored with it and started. Actually, now I don't actually wear proper socks when I play, or like the footy socks. But basically, just at the bottom of the sock, there's silicone grips, and so when your feet naturally sweat when you're playing, with generally the socks that you get, they're just usually polyester or just nylon, and so your feet generally sweat. I don't know about you, but I'm a pretty sweaty guy when I play, and so my feet tend to slide in the boots. But it's not only about that, but like I get a lot of blisters on the side of my feet, on my big toe, and so generally, developing this product. So just on the bottom, it's got silicone grips, and they're a bit lighter, but they're made from cotton, polyester, nylon, and elastine. So it gives that durability, but also there's micro mesh vents on top of the sock, and so when you sweat, then that just kind of wicks off. And then also you get sometimes socks might droop and you always have to pull them up every time you play the ball. But when you wear these socks, generally, they don't droop because they've got their elastine and they're a bit more durable, and just they provide that extra grip. And you might not think it's a huge difference, but when you're trying to take off or when you're trying to step or something, and you get a little bit of sliding in your boots, that could be probably the difference of you winning or scoring or making that tackle or whatever it might be. So at first I thought it wasn't a real thing, but then when I started wearing it, I can't say my scores went.
Yeah.
I could definitely feel a difference in the socks. Yeah. So
As well with the product, when you're promoting a product, it's well, anything that I'm helping, that performance side of things. So, I've got the breathing trainers and rebounder balls and other things that help performance. And with your socks, it is you're helping your that your ability and your performance there. So if it helps 1%, it's 1%. So if any athletes out there just want that little bit of extra edge, if anyone's seen, the last couple of my one-on-one sessions, I've been, wearing the socks there with my one-on-one sessions, so that they do help with your grip. And I've had 3 ankle surgeries and or 3 right ankle surgeries and 1 broken left ankle, and yet the socks just help that extra little bit of stability. And also, look, I can't strap myself, so we don't have strappers at every single training session, so having that little bit of extra stability there with the socks, it helps definitely with your ankles. So any players out there want that little edge, jump onto the website, because like I said, 1% is 1%, and it definitely helps your game. So I appreciate that, and I'm keen to see the boys out there wearing your socks and promoting the brand as well.
definitely, thanks, mate. Appreciate the assist. Yeah, thank you.
Anything else you want to touch base on or anything like that before we I'll just before you get back to your kid, appreciate your time and that, but your baby.
No, just want to say thank you for for having me on, and appreciate the support, and it's good to finally connect, and maybe hopefully one time I'll come up and have a run for your team if you're hiring. But definitely just GripX Performance Socks, just really trying to give you that added traction and stability and an extra boost in your performance. So just stay tuned, have a look at our socials for some exciting news and upcoming updates. But appreciate your time and thanks for having me on board.
Catch up. Bye.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.